David Koch tells us about some great budgeting app. A new study by Indirect has found that more than one-third of parents are paying more than $500 a year for each child's sports, and 1 in 10 are paying over $1,000. It found that almost 40% believe sport is getting more expensive each year, and additional unplanned costs constantly crop up. However, there are ways to reduce the financial strain while keeping kids active. Indirect Executive Director of Customers John Arnott says, "Be aware of the costs up front and look for ways to save." He says, for example, organize a group with other parents to swap out grown equipment each season. Arnott's other tips include understanding whether your health fund allows you to claim for things such as children's swimming classes, taking packed lunches rather than buying them at sporting venues, selling used equipment, and paying upfront rather than whacking costs on high-interest credit cards. The Fisher family spends more than $10 a year on their children's sports, which include swimming, dancing, boxing, netball, gym and footy. It's hectic and it is expensive, but I would rather them be outside doing sports than be sitting inside on iPads and computers, says mum of 4 Katrina Fisher. "We're pretty active people, so if they are interested in it we pretty much let them do what they want, which is probably why our bills are so much." Fisher spreads the costs by making regular payments for some of the sports rather than waiting for a big hit every few months or annually. Indirect's head of product, Tim Newman, says a lot of sports can be really affordable. You only need a ball and just turn up. He says, the biggest expenses for parents are typically for smaller, niche sports, often because of less government and sponsor funding. Newman says, for example, Orskit gets a lot of funding from the AFL. It is heavily subsidized by the AFL and heavily backed by sponsors. He says,